G'day everybody, I'm Stuart from Yamaha Motor Australia. Today I've been fortunate enough to have been given the keys to this Eagle 10 from Brig. It's got a couple of Yamaha F350s on it. They're an awesome engine. This boat's fitted with full Yamaha's Helm EX Level 4, and I'm going to run you through some of the features and benefits of it today. So starting off really basically, of course we're in a twin engine boat, so we've got a twin lever binnacle style control box. One of the really great features now that I like is our LED backlighting. So you can see here, I've got the engines in gear at the moment, and you can see that the backlights there are green. I've set them up that way. There's about 7 different colours you can choose from. When we go to neutral, you can see the backlights go to red, because in my brain, red means stop and green means go. So working through the other basic functions on the control box, of course, we've got our trim and tilt button here on the side, which will trim both engines simultaneously. And then we've got the ability to just individually adjust our trim if you just want to get the boat balanced up. Move down, of course, into some buttons here on the side. We've got neutral hold. Where I like neutral hold as a safety function is, we're in neutral there, we press that. If someone accidentally bumps those levers into gear or with a lot of throttle, the boat's going to stay still. So that's a great safety feature if you're leaving the helm to walk around the boat. Got our trim assist button, so that's going to activate our trim assist when that's set up, which we're going to do with the client today. And that'll mean that the engines trim automatically based off the boat's speed. And that's a really nice thing for people who are learning to boat, or if you're doing a lot of stop-start boating, it's actually a really great feature as well. This is one of my favourites here, which is single lever. So what that means is I've got the control in neutral, I press single lever, I'm going to fold that starboard side lever back out of the way, it's redundant now, and I can control both my engines off that single lever there. It's a really nice function, and it's good when people are maybe new to driving a twin engine boat. It takes a little bit of that daunting feel away from it. So you can see now both engines have gone into gear. Great thing about our little CL5 display is as well you get the icon up there to show that it's in single lever mode. So we're just leaving the marina here and we're in a 6 knot zone, and you always want to make sure you're compliant, of course, on the water. So with speed control, I can simply press a button and then adjust my speed up to that 6 knot point. It's going to hold the boat beautifully on its speed. Because we've got level 3 and higher Helmmaster in this boat, I can do that using boat speed rather than just engine RPM. Now, because this boat's also fitted with the level 4 joystick, instead of actually using the button to adjust my speed, I can just bump the joystick back and forth too. So a simple press backwards will decrease your speed, and a press up will increase your speed. One of the great things about the 350 Yamaha is the fact that it's got digital electric steering and it's built into the engine. So no more hydraulics, no more clunky tie bars between the 2 engines to make them steer, and you get a beautiful feel at the wheel. Now David, the client on this boat, has requested, he wants a real sporty feel out of this Brig, so we've made the steering turns 4 turns from lock to lock. So what that's going to give you is a really responsive boat. It's going to be a lot of fun to drive. But what we can also do is make the steering variable, so as the speed increases, so can our turns lock to lock. And we can also make it constant, which is what we've done in this boat. So it's a really nice function. One thing that's really important to remember is because it's digital electric steering, unless you actually put some input into the steering wheel, there's no battery drain. So on these modern boats where we've got big multifunction displays, fridges, all sorts of electronics running, we're not putting extra demand and load on our battery systems, which is critical for your days out. So once we step up into level 3 Helmmaster EX, we go to Autopilot. And Autopilot, if you've never had it, is one of the coolest things you'll put in your boat. The great thing about Yamaha's Autopilot is it's made by us, so it integrates seamlessly to our engines, our control system and our gauge, making it super easy to operate and super durable. So one of my first functions in Autopilot is a simple heading hold. So right now, boat's got to be in gear and moving. I can just press heading hold. That's going to hold my compass heading, but I can be moved off that heading by wind or tide or current, but I'll maintain the heading. So picture that I can go either side like that. I can make small adjustments using the keypad or the joystick, depending if that's fitted or not. Our next Autopilot function is course hold. Again, a simple matter of just pressing course hold on our keypad down here, and that's going to hold my course directly where the boat's pointed. It will compensate for the factors outside the boat, wind, tide, current, etc. And I can make small adjustments just simply using the keypad. Another great safety feature of Yamaha's Autopilot is the ability for me to pre-program what I'd like to happen to the boat at the end of that course. That can be decelerate, That can be nothing at all, or it can be even decelerate, and then with some input from the skipper, the boat can go into one of the point modes and hold it on position. Our next autopilot function is pattern steer. Pattern steer is a preloaded range of different maneuvers that the boat can make once you activate it. So what you would do in your gauge, you pre-set up which motion you'd like the boat to do, and again, we simply press pattern steer to activate that. There's a few in there. There's a pattern search, there's a Williamson turn, there's a spiral and a zigzag. So a lot of guys use those for fishing. Some will use them in a rescue scenario, and it's really going to depend on how you want to use your boat. One of the great safety features of Yamaha's Autopilot is, because we are an integrated system, if I come across an obstacle in the water that's unexpected while I'm on autopilot in any of the modes, I can quickly grab control of the boat without having to press any buttons or find a switch on the dash. I literally just grab the wheel and override it, and I can steer around that obstacle. As an added safety feature as well, one thing we can't do is we can't navigate while we're in neutral. So you can see now my autopilot's active. As soon as I shift the engine to neutral, the autopilot cancels out. The last and probably everyone's favourite feature of our Yamaha Autopilot is track point. And what track point is the ability to integrate with your onboard multifunction display if it's compatible, and we can set a track and the boat will follow that track as close as it can depending on the boat's speed. Today we've got a Simrad unit in this boat. What I'm going to be able to do is plot a course here through the seaway and press track point, and the boat's going to steer along that course. Okay, so I've just pulled up in the seaway here. We're out of everyone's way. I've simply got the engines in neutral, and all I need to do is press the stay point button. What that's going to do now is hold my boat's heading and position at the same time. So it's pretty much going to be like having two anchors out, locking me in spot. Now, because I'm holding both my heading and my GPS position, I can make adjustments to that using the joystick. So I can twist, and that'll adjust my heading 5 degrees, or I can bump the joystick forward or backwards or sideways, and we can change that between 3, 6 or 9 metres in your gauge. All right, so let's move on to fish point. What we've got in fish point is fish point bow and stern, and the simplest way to explain fish point bow and stern is just like having an anchor, either at your bow or at the stern of the boat. And the boat's going to sort of behave in the same way. You're going to have that position fixed, but we're still at the mercy of the wind or the tide or the current, whichever's the strongest. So we preset which mode we'd like in our gauge, whether it be fish point bow or stern. We can change that on the fly as well. However, I've got fish point stern set, so simple, in neutral, we press fish point, boat's going to lock in to this position. We can still drift around a little bit, but what we're going to be able to do is drop a line now. So last but not least, we've got drift point. So what drift point's going to do is hold the boat's heading, but we're going to drift with the tide, current or wind. Now, when we add a compatible multifunction display into the system as well, we can plot a track. As long as it's with that tide or current or wind and we're pushing in the same direction, we'll follow that track as well. Okay, so one of the most stressful parts of boating for a lot of people is either coming into the jetty, leaving the jetty, getting into a tight spot, the boat ramp. Helmmaster ES can solve that. When we've got multiple engines on the boat, we can use the joystick to maneuver the boat like never before. It's so simple to use. I'm literally in neutral, I activate the joystick button, and then I just pull the joystick where I want the boat to go. So I'm literally pulling the boat sideways now. I've got a little bit of current and tide here that I'm sort of dealing with. So I'm counteracting that just with a little twist of the joystick. I can move the boat completely sideways away. So if I had a boat front and back of me, I've got no worries there about trying to pull some crazy kind of maneuver to get out. I can literally pull the boat sideways, let it slow down here. I'm just going to twist around, back out towards where we want to go. I don't even have to look for a button as well, which is really nice. I can just put the boat into gear. I've got the helm again, and we're away. That's Helmmaster EX with the joystick. So what a great morning out with the crew from Sirocco down here on the Gold Coast, and special thanks to the owner as well for the use of his boat. The Helmmaster EX system really complements this Eagle 10. It makes it so easy to manoeuvre around. The autopilot functionality is fantastic, and the customer's really stoked with the results, as are the guys at Sirocco. So no doubt we'll see you out in the water with a few more of these boats with Helmmaster EX fitted to it.